Well, here we go for another video. This is the fifth in the series for missing persons information. I said in the last one, number 4, that I would try and put out another short one about managing the media. I think it's very important for the family of missing persons, particularly long-term missing persons, that they recognise that it's very, very important to manage their media contacts throughout what could become a prolonged and protracted management of their loved one's missing persons case. What I would encourage you all to do when you are contacted by the media is to get a business card off them, obviously, because that will contain their phone numbers, their name, who they work for, what media organisation they work for, their email, their phone numbers, whatever. But I would encourage you to create a index or a small diary or some way of keeping a record of who all the people that you've spoken to are and what organisations they're from and how to contact them again as you find a need to promote a particular aspect or issue about your loved one's missing persons case. You end up with quite an extensive media file or media communications contact list. Try and make a point right from the very beginning of keeping a good record of those contacts, because things change. People change careers, they move on from one organisation to another, they move up the ladders of promotion to become editors and directors and all sorts of stuff. So maintain those contacts in a diary of some sort. They become increasingly more important as time progresses. Be wary that when you actively manage your own family member's missing persons case, that media do tend to want to report on such things. It's a matter of public interest that they like to report on, particularly on a slow news day. If nothing else is happening in the international or the national arena, local missing persons cases make good TV news fodder. So what I would like you to understand is that these media people, they earn their salary by interviewing you and getting a story and putting it to air and so on, and they sell a lot of advertising, so that's their business. Their business is to profit or make money from your loss or from your loved one's disappearance. And you need to recognise that. Yes, they will try to help you all they can, but you need to understand that they're helping themselves. I know that in having conducted missing persons searches before today with cadaver dogs and so on, I've had 3 helicopters arrive all at the same time, all from different media organisations, and they all spend a lot of money to come and film their stories and do their set pieces to camera and so on. But very seldom do they ever contribute anything towards the cost that the families have to bear of organising their own searches or employing people to help them with aspects of the case, professionals, for example, whether it's private detectives or cadaver dog handlers or whoever it might be that the family decide is something that the police can't or haven't or won't do and the family want done. These people who are profiting from publishing your story have a very bad record when it comes to putting their hand in their own pocket to help contribute to the cost of such interesting stories, if you like. And that can be a little off-putting and a little frustrating, and I think it will help you in terms of being balanced in how you deal with these media people when you recognise that for them it's a profit-making exercise. In managing the media, you need to learn how to feed them what it is they want in order to assist you, in order to get your message across or your plea across to members of the public to try and keep your loved one's case in the public eye, to try and keep it high profile so that you can lobby with parliamentarians and with ministers in order to get things that you might want, like coroner's inquests and so on. So it's an important part of the game, if you like. And I mean, that's a terrible way to describe a family's disappearance of a loved one, and I apologise for it. It's to the media, because they become hardened to it. To them, it is a game. It's a game about making money. And I think it would be handy for the families to understand from the outset that it's not a pleasant exercise to have to deal with the media. I know from experience, having conducted a search where we brought a cadaver dog out here from Queensland and a handler, that our specific instructions to the media were that yes, they could report and yes, they could interview us during lunch and so on, but not to get ahead of the dog and influence the scent trail, not to try and film a set piece to the cameras with the dog, whilst the family have actually raised the money to have the dog there to be physically searching, not standing in front of the news cameras. And I've seen the media just ignore all of that and actually get in the way of a search in order to make their money, to earn their salary and to sell their advertising and put their shows on TV. So I think you need to understand that they are mercenary buggers at the end of the day. They've seen more than most of us will ever experience, and I guess they become hardened to it a little bit, and I think they're also at the dictate or the directions of their producers and bosses at the corporation who runs the media organisation. So it's a sad fact of life that you will have to deal with the media, and the sooner that you understand, I guess, the unwritten rules of the game and some of their motivations, the more chance you've got of being effective at garnering what it is you need from the media to assist you, but at the same time not letting the media use you or interfere in what it is you're doing at your cost, when they've got long pockets and short arms and they're not contributing to the cost of any of the actions that the families often have to fund and undertake themselves once cases become long-term, protracted, and the police have basically dropped the ball. So I think it's fair to show that there are two sides to the coin. You know, the reporters themselves are some lovely people individually, but they are doing a job and they're directed in what it is they're expected to obtain and come back to the office with once they start expending a cameraman and a sound man and a helicopter pilot and the reporter's wages and you know, they get told to come home with a certain result, and that may compromise what it is you're trying to do, or a proportion of it might actually be at your cost in terms of they're interfering with how you're expending your resources on whatever activity is being undertaken. So just be aware that it's the media, like some other things, it's a two-edged sword. They can certainly help you in many, many ways. Some of the reporters are some of the nicest people you'll ever meet. The media industry itself, not such a nice industry at the end of the day. They can be good, they can be bad. Just recognise, I guess, that you need to maintain a professional balance with them so that you do manage to obtain what it is you want, but not at your expense, if that makes sense. I won't go into much more than that. That's it for this one. Thanks.